Hi everyone, and welcome to Science Nerd. In this video, we are going to explore the question: what if you lived on Kepler-22b? Before we start, if you like this kind of videos, you can subscribe to my channel. Since the beginning of human space exploration, mankind has been expanding its reach further and further across the universe. Other star systems and planets that were not even known to exist just a few decades ago are now actively being observed and studied. While our current technologies do not generally allow us to send spacecraft, especially if there are humans on board, too much further than around our own solar system. Innovations in other fields have allowed scientists to study extremely distant star systems and compare them to ours. More and more powerful telescopes are always being created. And at this point we have found planets orbiting stars over 20,000 light-years away. A planet found orbiting a star other than the Sun is called an exoplanet, and even though no exoplanet is near enough to Earth to be seen with the naked eye, these mysterious cousins of ours can mimic conditions in our solar system very closely. We would search for life in our solar system, but unfortunately no planets orbiting the Sun, other than Earth, seem too likely to be home to any life. As a result, exoplanets are sometimes thought of as the key to finding extraterrestrial life in our universe. Because the nebula theory describes how all solar systems are born. The existence of a planet as habitable as our Earth is perfectly plausible, even in an extraordinarily far-off star system. So, when scientists are scanning the sky for exoplanets, they generally try to limit their search of the cosmos to stars similar to our Sun. A G star on the main sequence. One of the most habitable exoplanets ever discovered, Kepler-22b, falls directly into this category. The star it orbits, Kepler-22b, is a G5 star that lies approximately 620 light-years away from us, in the Cygnus constellation. Kepler-22b was confirmed to exist on October 1, 2011, after its fourth transit was observed by the Kepler Space Telescope. The transit method used to discover this exoplanet is also one of the more commonly used techniques in exoplanet detection. This method works when the Kepler Space Telescope detects a drop in the luminosity of a star for a short period of time. The drop in luminosity can be explained by the fact that a planet orbiting the star may have come around and temporarily come in between the star and the Earth, blocking some of the star's emitted light. If viewed at the proper inclination, which is not always possible when observing distant stars, and therefore makes this technique only occasionally optional, transits of this type can prove the existence of orbiting planets. However, it generally takes 3 observed transits to convince astronomers that an exoplanet does, in fact, exist. Kepler-22 is actually very similar to the Sun, which only adds to scientific interest in this star system. Its luminosity is about 0.8 that of our Sun. Its radius is 0.979 solar radii, and its average temperature lies at around 550 K, making it only about 200 K cooler than the Sun. Kepler-22b appears to be in the closer in fifth or so of its star's habitable zone, so it is expected that the planet will slowly but surely become uninhabitable as the habitable zone moves outward. Regardless, the planet probably has many hundreds of millions or even billions of years until it is no longer habitable. Because of this and all of its host stars' similarities to our Sun, Kepler-22b gives us a better chance of discovering extraterrestrial biology than any other exoplanet discovered to date. What if life really does exist on Kepler-22b? At this point, we simply have to wait to find out more. We have learned as much about Kepler-22b as our current technologies allow us. So until our science improves further, we are at a bit of a standstill. But, based on what we do know, we can make certain assumptions. If Kepler-22b's temperature really does lie at 262 K, that means that the average surface temperature is 11 degrees Fahrenheit. While this is pretty chilly, it is clearly approaching the range that is necessary for water to be liquid. As a result, it seems plausible to imagine Kepler-22b as a cold, icy, wet world similar to Earth's Arctic regions. While life definitely could exist, it does not seem likely that too many species could exist in abundance at such frigid constant temperatures, although it is hard to say. Certain dominant species would arise that would be immune to the harsh cold and would probably be adapted to spend much of their life in the water. Penguins come to mind when thinking of a well-adapted, versatile species, as they are extremely adept swimmers but still generally congregate on land. Kepler-22b's temperature would probably cause the planet to be mostly liquid with certain sections frozen over in ice, and this is how evolution would progress. Life would likely start in the ocean, perhaps by underwater volcanoes that provide the disequilibrium that life needs to begin. As time passes and species continue to evolve, certain animals would make their way onto solid ice and start to live and reproduce there. If I was a travel agent hoping to send a family of 4 to Kepler-22b, it might be hard to convince them to go. For one, there is not enough information about the atmosphere or composition of the planet to even say for sure whether or not they could survive there. This little detail aside, the trip would probably be like a cruise through Alaska, and the family could admire the icy conditions on their ship cruising through the waters. Kepler-22b's relative proximity to its star, compared to the Earth's distance to the Sun, might make more for an incredible view, where Kepler-22 could occupy a large chunk of the horizon during sunrise and sunset. All in all, Kepler-22 star system travel agents will not be necessary for a long while, at least until we find some way of safely and reliably conducting interstellar space travel. What have we learned? Kepler-22b offers us one of the best-known examples of an exoplanet potentially capable of harboring life. Not only is its star very similar to our Sun, Kepler-22b also lies in the habitable zone of its host star, making it seem plausible that liquid water exists on the surface of the planet. At this point, we just hope that new scientific discoveries will allow us to study the planet in further detail, hopefully someday revealing the existence of extraterrestrial life in the Kepler-22 star system. NASA revealed a new planet detected orbiting a star 600 light-years away could have continents, oceans and life. The planet, Kepler-22b, is about twice the size of Earth and may have a surface temperature of around 22 C, similar to a warm spring day in the UK. It is the first so-called super-Earth, known to lie within the habitable zone of a Sun-like star. Dubbed the Goldilocks zone, this is the orbital band where temperatures are just right to allow the existence of surface liquid water. This means the planet could have continents and oceans just like the Earth. And where there is liquid water, there could also be life. Scientists believe Kepler-22b may not only be habitable, but possibly even inhabited. This discovery supports the growing belief that we live in a universe crowded with life, said Dr. Alan Boss, from the Carnegie Institution in Washington, D.C., who helped identify the planet from data obtained by the Kepler Space Telescope. The telescope, launched by the American Space Agency NASA, is watching 155,000 stars looking for tiny dimmings in brightness that betray the presence of planets. Kepler-22b's host star, in the region of the constellations of Lyra and Cygnus, is slightly smaller than the Sun and about 25% less luminous. The planet orbits the star in 290 days, compared with the Earth's 365, at a distance 15% closer than the Earth is from the Sun. It lies right in the center of the star's habitable zone, where potentially perfect conditions exist for life. But are these conditions sufficient? Let's take a realistic closer look at the common and contrasting characteristics of these two planets. One of the most significant similarities is that both planets are rocky, rather than gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn. This means that both planets have solid surfaces and are composed of rock and metal. Additionally, both planets are located in the habitable zone of their respective stars, which means that they receive the right amount of light and heat to potentially support liquid water on their surfaces. However, there are also some differences between Earth and Kepler-22b. Kepler-22b is significantly larger than Earth, with a radius about 2.4 times larger and a mass estimated to be about 36 times greater than Earth's. Additionally, Kepler-22b orbits a star that is slightly smaller and cooler than the Sun, and it is located much farther away from Earth than any planet in our solar system. Another significant difference is the length of Kepler-22b's year. While Earth takes approximately 365 days to orbit the Sun, Kepler-22b takes approximately 290 days to orbit its star. This means that the length of its year is shorter than Earth's, but still falls within a similar range. Overall, while Earth and Kepler-22b share some similarities, they also have significant differences in their size, composition, and environment. Well, in the light of this information, to answer the main topic of our video, what would happen if we lived on Kepler-22b? If you lived on Kepler-22b, you would experience a very different environment from what we are used to on Earth. The planet is believed to be tidally locked, which means that one side always faces its star while the other side always faces away. This would result in a permanent day side and a permanent night side, with a region in between experiencing a perpetual twilight. The atmosphere of Kepler-22b is not well known, but it is likely that it is different from Earth's atmosphere. The planet is believed to be surrounded by a thick layer of gas, which could make the sky appear different and affect the weather. The weather on Kepler-22b is also likely to be different from Earth due to its different atmosphere and geography. Due to the stronger gravitational force on Kepler-22b, any object thrown or dropped would fall to the ground faster than on Earth. This could affect how people move and interact with their environment. Challenges of living on Kepler-22b. Living on Kepler-22b would present many challenges. For example, the planet is located about 600 light-years away from Earth, which means that it would take thousands of years to travel there with our current technology. Furthermore, the planet's environment is very different from Earth, which would require humans to adapt to new conditions. For example, the different gravity could affect human health, and the different atmosphere could make it difficult to breathe without the use of special equipment. Finally, living on Kepler-22b would require humans to be self-sufficient, as there would be no way to receive supplies or support from Earth. This would require developing new technologies and ways of living that are not yet available to us. In conclusion, living on Kepler-22b would be a unique and challenging experience. While the planet's environment is similar to Earth in some ways, it is also vastly different, and humans would need to adapt to new conditions to survive. While we may not be able to travel to Kepler-22b anytime soon, studying this distant planet can help us better understand our own planet and the universe around us. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.